This NBA playoff picks edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is presented by WinBet. Bet $10 at WinBet and get $200 in free bets. Bet big, win bigger with WinBet. Download the WinBet app now or visit wynnbet.com and start winning today. We're also brought to you by Coors Light. Get mountain cold refreshment delivered straight to your door via Drizzly or Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/SGP. That's CoorsLight.com/SGP. We're also brought to you by Stable Duel. Stable Duel is a horse racing DFS app where you can play free and paid games for real cash prizes. You can win as much as $40,000 with one entry. Head over to StableDuel.com to get started today. We're also brought to you by PropSwap, America's marketplace to buy and sell sports bets. Use promo code SGP on your first deposit to receive up to $500 in bonus cash. Head over to PropSwap.com or download the PropSwap app today. And of course, make sure to download the SGPN app, your home for all of our free picks and podcasts.
Hey, this is John Sally, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Cox. He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer Dog?
Oh, Sean, we are here. We're back 2 times talking about the NBA in 1 week. It must be April.
Back to back. Well, not back to back. We did have the USFL Week 1 picks podcast.
How dare you forget that?
I did call out the USFL Stars, aka the Philly Stars, their mascot, the Blob, which again, to reiterate, the worst mascot of all time. Check that out in the USFL Picks podcast. Ryan, I'm coming to you live from Colorado, out here doing some stand-up shows, enjoying the WinBet app. Oh, it's awesome, Ryan. I gotta be firing up that WinBet parlay wheel. The wheel itself, you actually get to spin it. Thing is, it's a work of beauty. So I've been all over the WinBet app. Bet $10, get $200 in free bets. Also, 100% deposit bonus up to $1,000 on the casino. Damn right, I'm going to be over there. So much to choose from. All you have to do is download the WinBet app or visit wynnbet.com. Get started today. They had a nice little same game parlay boost for the playing games. Got all over that. Again, offer subject to change, terms and conditions at winbet.com. Must be 21 or older and present in the state where playthrough WinBet is available. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. We are going to get into a bunch of the NBA playoff picks, Saturday's games, Sunday's games, some of the series we haven't gotten to, even a special player prop segment as well. So much content. Had to bring in the host of the NBA gambling podcast, Mr. Munaf Manji, hardest working man at SGPN, or at least one of them. I don't want to create a fight in the SGPN locker room there.
What's going on, guys? Are we a little too early for Sean's therapy session for the Sixers losing the first round? Is that what it is?
Man, you know what? I mean, we will. We're gonna get to the actual game breakdown, but I love it. You, Brian, Terrell. Bill Simmons, literally everyone I've heard a gambling opinion on in the Raptors Sixers series, not one person likes the Sixers. That is a perfect spot to be in a round 1 series. Everyone doubting you, backs against the wall. Nobody believes Joel Embiid getting snubbed from the MVP race. It's everything's coming together. So keep piling on that hate, Munaf. You're walking into the Philly buzzsaw.
I don't want to get released again, so I'll try to temper my expectations.
Somehow we worked it out. Munaf back on the show in spite of picking the Raptors in the series.
So what you're saying, Sean, is that first it was the independence of this country, massive underdogs coming out of Philadelphia. Then it was a small Italian boxer who came out of Philadelphia. Now you're saying Joel Embiid and James Harden are the next great heroes to come out of Philadelphia.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
How dare you?
How dare you refer to Rocky as a small Italian boxer? How dare you, sir? How dare you?
It's true. It's inflammatory. All Italians are short.
All right. Now, if you're watching the show live, youtube.com/sports gambling podcast, we're actually going live right before the playing games. We're not going to go too hard on them. I know Munaf covered those games on the NBA gambling podcast. For me, if you're watching live on YouTube, I do like the Hawks lay into at the Cavs. Just because kind of Trae Young to me, that number he rang up was insane.
Yeah.
Shout out to the guy on YouTube who called me ball casual. Did hit my lock Pelicans -5 last time we were on the show. So I ball casual, I pick casual, but it doesn't matter if I'm hitting the locks. Again, the offense out of Atlanta, I think could be enough to carry them in the playoff game. I won't spend all night on it because most people, this game would already have happened. Munaf, what was your play?
Yeah, I have the Hawks -2 in this game as well. Hawks won 3 out of the 4 during the regular season. They scored 120 plus points in 3 out of the 4 games. And Sean, you're right, man. The offense, I think, is going to be a little too much for the Cleveland Cavaliers. They do get Jared Allen back tonight at the center position, but he's still dealing with that finger injury. We don't know how effective he will be. But yeah, I do like the Hawks -2 here tonight.
Kramer, how say you?
I mean, isn't this? I guess I can't be Cleveland. Like again, I'm wearing nothing but the NBA narrative hat here. So yeah, I mean, I guess not to jump to the second game, but how is it not going to be the Hawks and the Clippers?
Well, and Munaf and I were having a similar conversation where, Munaf, of course, legendary ref reports all season for the NFL, bunch of fun trends he uncovered. And, the reffing really gets interesting in the playoffs. Shout out to our boy, wait, I'm blanking on his name. What's the crooked ref's name?
Scott Foster.
Scott
Brothers.
Donnie.
Tim Donaghy.
Yeah, Tim Donaghy, classic Delaware County guy. No, it's funny. You listed 2 other guys who most certainly are also crooked. They yet to be indicted, NBA refs. And to your point, Kramer and Munaf had the same point. How are they not going to have one of the LA teams in this playoff versus putting in this Pelicans team with no Zion, it's seemingly Zion not looking to return. Yeah. I don't want to. And now you have Paul George is a late scratch. Isn't the NBA going to do everything they can to get the Clippers into the playoffs? I don't want to go against CJ McCollum, so I begrudgingly picked the Clippers. I think they're a +1 dog, the latest over at WinBet. But what about you, Munaf? Is that your handicap as well?
Yeah, I think my initial reaction when we heard the Paul George news this morning, I was like, I still like the Clippers. I mean, look, they're at home. I think that's going to be the crowd is going to be even louder, knowing that they need their support. They've been in this situation before without Paul George and Kawhi Leonard this season. And again, I'm on that whole bias thing that you need an LA market team in the playoffs. It doesn't matter if it's going to be Paul George, at least for this handful of maybe the first games or whatever, but I feel like Clippers will do enough tonight to get over the Pelicans here tonight.
Kramer?
Yeah. I mean, you're also fading a massive line move. I understand it's explainable with the scratch, but you're still going. I mean, what was this? This was a 4-point number when it opened. 4. So it's moved 5 points. I mean, it's a pretty big move. So yeah, I don't mind being on the other side of that as well.
Yeah. And reminder here, if you haven't gotten in the NBA playoffs bracket challenge SGPN, make sure you do. Still time to get that in sportsgamblingpodcast.com/NBA playoffs. That's locking Saturday AM. So if you're listening to this early Saturday or Friday night, still time to get that in. Oh man, Rocky Mountains. I'm actually right next to Rocky Mountain National Park. I can almost smell the ice cold Coors Light. Hanging out here in Colorado just reminds me how awesome Coors Light is. Again, was this vacation based on Coors Light being a sponsor? No, not necessarily, but you can experience the Rockies from the comfort of your own home. You can get ice cold Coors Light delivered straight to your door via Drizzly or Instacart. All you got to do is go to CoorsLight.com/SGP. Coors Light, of course, cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged. Again, if you want to make your living room feel like the Rockies, just crack open an ice cold Coors Light and head to CoorsLight.com/SGP. Remember to celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Oh man. All right. We'll get to the games, the game one stuff, but we are going to do a little player props, AKA over unders. And we have a new sponsor who specializes in over under. And that of course is Sleeper. That's right. They have a brand new over under feature. If you go to sleeper.com, use the promo code SGP. They will match your deposit up to $100. That is Sleeper. Promo code SGP. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for the details. And again, depending how many of these player props you want to parlay, you can get a payout from 2x to 20x, depending how hard you go. And the cool thing is we set up a group. So if you want to copy either Munaf or Kramer's picks, my picks, or how does it work, Ryan? Because then they can share their own picks in the group as well.
I did a deep dive. So basically what happens is once you join our squad up, you can fight the over under fight with us. And it was super simple. Munaf joined earlier. He threw in one of his contests and it lets me know, hey, Munaf just got down on some stuff, and I literally just click the button and it says, would you like to join Munaf? Boom.
Yes.
Right there. And you can also choose if you want to play classic, which is if you get one wrong, you get a little bit back. If you get them all right, you get a smaller payout. Or of course, I already set it to my default. The only way I'm going to play it, which is all in, it looks like a three over under contest is going to pay you 6.5 to 1. It looks like. So yeah, I mean, you could juice. What I really like about Sleeper, and shout out to Sleeper for this. Once you build your contest, it says, hey, do you want your odds to go up and add another one in? It really makes it easy to convert your 3-teamer into a 4-teamer. So.
Yeah. And correction, it's not sleeper.com, it's sleeper.app, but just, go mobile, download the app. And I think the over under is only available on the Sleeper app.
Plus
you probably have a fantasy league going on it.
Yeah. I mean, if you're anybody, you're already on Sleeper doing Dynasty. That's what we're doing it. But yeah, I mean, the other thing, the last thing I'll say is it also, Sean, it's another chat room where you might accidentally mix it up with NBA Sean.
Yes. NBA Sean will be in there. Unfortunately, I can't actually, Colorado, not one of the states. So my sleeper pick will not go in, which means it's almost 100% certified. Definitely going to cash.
Yeah.
If you want to join in our squad, our little group chat, go to sg.pn/squad, sg.pn/squad. Munaf, you are the expert. Kick us off here. What is your 3-team player prop here?
Yeah, I'm starting with these Saturday games here. The 3 that I took, I'm taking D'Angelo Russell over 18.5 points. The handicap is pretty simple here, man. He's crushed his points props against the Memphis Grizzlies over his career. This season, I believe he was averaging, let me see if I can pull this up here. I did it on the Propcast this morning. I'll try to find it in the meantime, but he's been crushing it. I think he's scored 25 or more points this season, all 4 matchups. And I think it was like 9 out of the last 10 career games. He's gone over 19 or more points against them. So that was my first one, over 18.5 points for D'Lo. The second one I took was Fred VanVleet of the Toronto Raptors, over 18.5 points as well. He only played in one matchup this season against the Philadelphia 76ers this season, and he did score 32 points in 40 minutes. And I think he's going to be one of the main guys that's going to be a scorer, him and Pascal Siakam, to kind of carry that offensive load here. So I took Fred VanVleet over 18.5 points. And then my last one, I took Nikola Jokic to get over 7.5 assists against the Golden State Warriors in the last game of the night there on Saturday night. I mean, we know what Jokic can do. He's a walking triple-double every single night, any arena that he walks into. 3 straight games where he's at 8 or more assists against the Warriors. So I'm banking on him to get at least 8 for me against the Warriors in that game, in game 1 against the Golden State Warriors. So those are my 3.
Sean.
All right. Yes.
Would it blow your mind if I told you I had the same 3? I'm just kidding. I do have the same 3 because I played the same contest as Munaf, but I also have a couple of my own. I did roll the Fred VanVleet one over. We talked about this on the previous NBA playoff show. Seems like a no brainer to take the over. And by the way, super hard for me to squeeze some unders in here. I like the Jokic angle. I stayed in that game. I just went Klay Thompson over 3.5 3-pointers. I mean, it's a boom or bust play, but if he's gonna start hitting some threes, he's going well over this one. You look at the numbers. He's either getting to 6 or 7, or he's having a goose egg. And last one, I know the numbers would say that Kyrie does not average over 27.5 points versus Boston in his career in these revenge quote unquote spots, but playoffs, come on, over 27.5 points for Kyrie.
Yeah, I considered tossing the Kyrie one in there as well. I didn't end up pulling the trigger. First of my sleeper player props here. Give me James Harden over 10.5 assists. I'm sure Munaf hates that pick.
That's the funniest shit I've heard all day.
What? Come on. 10.5.
No, I like that, Sean. I'll back you up on that.
Yeah. He's had 66 assists in the last 5 games. He's averaging 13.2, not doing a ton scoring wise, but his assist numbers are through the roof. He's kind of, he is the full-time setup man for that offense. Again, I like them to win the game. We'll get to whether or not I like them to cover. Spoiler alert. I might. Another one. My only under here is Karl Anthony Towns under 24.5. Again, this Minnesota team kind of felt like they won their Super Bowl by just getting into the actual playoffs. He's only averaging 23.3 against Memphis so far this season, and that's in non-playoffs. So I think Memphis is going to ratchet it up. Now, while they don't have a ton of playoff experience, they certainly have more than the T-Wolves, who haven't been in the playoffs for forever. So I think Cat isn't going to dominate, and I think they're going to be able to slow him down enough to hit this under on 24.5. Last one, and we'll get to it more when we talk about the game one specifically, but give me DeMar DeRozan over 27.5 points. He's averaging 31.3 against Milwaukee, and Milwaukee actually kind of really struggles, especially if you remember last year. They did not do well in game ones. I don't know, whatever it is about this team and their makeup, not great in game ones. In the playoffs, I look for that trend to continue. And again, when we gave it out on the series, we gave out Chicago plus 2.5 on the series price. And I think they could be a live dog game one. We'll get to that more. And of course, obviously, download the Sleeper app, use the promo code SGP, 100% deposit match up to $100. Join our squad and copy Munaf's picks. I'm not advocating to copy mine unless you're copying the one I just gave out, because that one most certainly is going to hit because I can't physically enter that pick in. So yeah, that one's definitely going to hit.
That's the rule. Right. Ever since no one copied your 2017 Tariq Cohen DFS lineup, spitting in your face.
I tried to get the listeners paid by giving out a $200,000 DFS winner.
Talk about a humbling experience. No one actually listened to you, Sean.
No.
This time they'll listen. 6.5 to 1, right? Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, and again, there are. I think if you compare Sleeper to some of the other competitors in the space, their payouts on like the 3-teamers and up are way higher than a lot of spaces. So,
no disrespect to Prize Picks or Thrive, but they weren't paying 6.5 to 1.
Oh. All right, let's get to the games on Saturday. 4-game slate. You got Utah Jazz laying 5 against the Mavs. Total sitting at 209.5. Mavs are a plus 165 dog. And
Luka out.
Yes, Luka's out probably for the first couple games. We kind of hit on the series here. I don't think we officially made a pick because we were trying to get a handle on Luka playing. I'll be honest, the series price over at Win is Dallas plus 230. I'm gonna ride with Dallas plus 230. It more so it's just a fade against this Utah team for the series, because I think Dallas is motivated, and I think the whole Donovan Mitchell stuff. I think it feels like he's got a foot out the door. And the Jazz have been horrible against the spread. 33, 46 and 3 ATS. Mavs meanwhile have been beasts, 47, 33 and 2 against the spread. And Utah's 0 and 5 against the spread in their last 5 games against Dallas. Mavs have been good at home. I know I know no Luka is scary, but I think for game one, I'm liking taking them +5. And again, I think they're an interesting play for the series at +230, which was what we were all leaning, I think, from what I recall on the last episode. Munaf, what's your take on game one and the series?
Yeah, I'll start with the series, and I think any smart NBA bettor is not going to lay -300 with the Utah Jazz. And my co-host Terrell, shout out to Terrell, he would disown me if I would lay -300 with the Utah Jazz. So no way you can do it. And I think the only way to go is, you're right, with Dallas +230 here. And no, there was, and kind of get into game one for the series. They played 17 games, I believe, without Luka this season. They were all right. They were 8-9 without him. So they played, almost 500 basketball without him. But I feel like the public is going to see that, hey, Luka is not going to be in this game for the Dallas Mavericks, their best player, and they're going to automatically want to bet Utah. There's one stat I did kind of pull up about the Utah Jazz, and they've been in the playoffs 10 times since 2000 and since the year 2000. They've been in the playoffs 13 times, and in 10 of those games, their game ones in round one, they've lost all 10.
Oh, wow.
So I'm taking the Dallas Mavericks +5 in game one. I think they're going to come out and play well. That crowd is going to be fired up. And it's not like they haven't been in this situation, guys, without Luka, right? The game plan is going to be there with Jason Kidd. They're going to be focused on defense, especially Jalen Brunson and Spencer Dinwiddie to have big games for them. And I think that they can, they're going to make the 3-point shots. And I think they're going to pull out this victory here in game one. So give me Dallas +5 in game one.
So what do you think the price is when if Dallas wins game one? What do you think the series price moves to?
I would probably say it probably move around -120 in that range for Utah.
Okay. So why wouldn't you, if you like Dallas, which I'm with you guys. I like Dallas. I like Dallas for the series, but what if we played it this way? Dallas money line game one. If you put a unit on that, you win. You have 2.65 units that you just roll into a series bet then at like +120 or whatever, or even money, whatever you think it might be.
Yeah.
If they lose, you're out a unit. Now the series price goes to where? +400?
Probably around there. Yeah. Right now, what you say was +300. Yeah. Probably around plus. Yeah. You could probably even get north of +400. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So you're +2. It's +230 right now in the series.
No, I'm saying if they lose, it goes to
+350, +400. You're right.
So my point is, if we just play our bet on the Dallas money line game one, we either win right away, have that money. If we still like the series, we reinvest it, but we're liquid, or we lose our unit and we just buy back in to the better price anyway. Which there's some expectation Dallas could lose the first game. Luka comes back later, they take care of business anyway. I feel like that's the safer way to play it, especially with needing maybe wanting more information about Luka. So I'm going to suggest we play Dallas money line. That's the play.
100%. I agree. Dallas.
Yeah, I think we're all on that. Them is going to end up being our dog as well, or at least one of our dogs. I think there's a couple game one,
but versus playing, I'm not touching the series price. Is my point. Like I'm going to play the money line, and then I'll reevaluate after game one.
Okay. Arbitrage Kramer over here.
I'm just trying to bring some intelligence to the show,
Yeah. It's not my style. You're just giving out plus EV opportunities left and right. Minnesota Timberwolves head out to Memphis. Grizzlies are laying now 6.5 on the spread there Saturday afternoon. -270 on the money line for the Grizz, total 236. T-Wolves coming +220 on the way back. Yeah, I mean it's chalky, but I like Memphis here. Game one, maybe Minnesota gets the cover, but I just don't see it. I really, really like the Grizzlies here in this series. I mean, they're one of the best teams against the spread. They've been dominant, 52-29-1 against the spread. And Minnesota's been horrible. Last 10 against Memphis, 2-8. Ja Morant versus Anthony Edwards. That'll be kind of an interesting, matchup there. And Grizzlies are a deep team too. And again, like I just think it comes back to Minnesota just being happy to be there. So I think there's a million reasons to fade them, and I'm all over them. So and you can the series price is plus 260 on the T-Wolves, minus 330 for the Grizz. I think the fun way to play this for me, and I'm surprised it's this low. Give me Memphis minus 135 on the series spread, laying a game and a half. And I wouldn't, I'm going to take a small sprinkle on Grizzlies in 4. I think there's a good chance they match up well against this T-Wolves team. I know maybe that third game in Minnesota could be a tough out for them, but at plus 500 Grizzlies for the sweep, I think is a fun bet as well. So, I like them to win the West. Of course, I'm going to be all over them round 1. Munaf, what's your take?
Yeah, I feel like this series is going to be one of the more chalkier picks by people, that Memphis just come out here and take care of business. But I understand that Minnesota was acting like they won the championship and they're playing a tournament game. But I feel like they will give some type of competition to the Memphis Grizzlies. I don't think that they'll beat them in the series. I do like Memphis to win this series, but I'm not laying minus 300 or minus 330 for the Memphis Grizzlies in the series. I just feel like this team matches up better than people think against the Memphis Grizzlies. And, we talked about Karl Anthony Towns, where I think that's going to be a big series for him. D'Angelo Russell, I talked about, he's been absolutely fantastic against the Memphis Grizzlies all throughout his career, not just this season. And I think he's going to be, he's going to be big in this series. I took a prop bet on him averaging over 19.1 points per game for the series. I think the Memphis Grizzlies get it done in 6. And I think they're going to surprise some people here in game 1. I'm going to take the underdog here at plus 6.5 on the Minnesota Timberwolves here. They have a lot of good depth, and defensively they've kind of bought in, right? I know they were playing really bad defense down the stretch of the final 10 games of the season, but now it's the playoffs. You're led by Patrick Beverley. Whatever people think about this guy, he's a pest, and he finds a way to get under people's skin. And he brings that defensive intensity. I think that kind of rubs off on some of the other players on this team. Jared Vanderbilt, Jaden McDaniels, Malik Beasley, those guys, they can all play defense. So I'm going to take Minnesota plus a 6.5 in game 1, but I think they do win this series. So maybe around Memphis in 6, I think would probably be my bet for the series.
Yeah, and the Memphis minus 1.5. The fact that you get plus odds on that is that's just too juicy for me. I think you're right though, as far as if Minnesota does hang around, or if they do get a game 1 cover, I think it's going to be D'Angelo Russell. I don't see Cat coming up big in a big spot like the playoffs. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe he can show me something here. To quote one of our YouTube commenters, homie in the bottom right really knows his stuff. And as we've established, I'm ball casual. Kramer, as you're also ball casual. Somehow you didn't get identified, but what do you like in this series? What do you like game 1?
It's all about having a unique, intelligent take on the NBA playoffs. Sean, people like my narrative based handicapping. I think what Munaf said is correct. This is the game you circle as also the most lopsided public opinion game of the weekend.
Not Philly, Toronto.
Memphis, as in terms of a single game, Memphis is getting near 80% of the spread bets right now, and I think as a contrarian bettor here, that's initially I get it, I understand it. John Morant's sexy. Minnesota isn't. They just celebrated they're winning the playoff tournament and staying alive. I'm taking the dog in game 1. I like getting all those points. And I think for a series bet, I still like Memphis, like Munaf is saying. I say this goes to 7. I think this turns into a fun first round series. Yeah. And I think we get a moment from Ja Morant in game 7 that helps propel him to a deep, deep run in the NBA playoffs.
I'll be shocked if we get the T-Wolves winning 3 playoff games. I will genuinely
plus 340.
Surprised.
Plus 340 is that bet.
Is Memphis in 7?
Yeah.
So you also have them plus 6.5 for game 1, right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you like them as a dog?
I would say this is a series where the home team wins all the way.
I think that if Minnesota was playing to
that brand a new ton of options as far as taste. The beans are freshly roasted. Some of the country's best roasters, helping out small businesses. They check so many boxes, but again, the taste, the freshness cannot be beat. It is a delicious cup of coffee. I would not steer you wrong about coffee and trade. They deliver, man. Delivered over 5 million bags of fresh coffee with over 750,000 positive reviews. All you got to do, if you're a new subscriber, you can get $30 off your first order plus free shipping. You go to drinktrade.com/SGP. That's more than 40 cups of coffee for free. Take the coffee quiz, drinktrade.com/SGP for $30 off. Raptors against my Sixers. We already talked about the series, which you guys both incorrectly predicted Toronto would get it done. Obviously, I'm all over the Sixers here in game one. Again, I don't, you can't imagine the chip that that my buddy Joel Embiid is gonna have on his shoulder, and just the fact that everyone's on the Raptors. I honestly don't recall a time where, you know, the betting line suggests that they're a favorite, and yet everyone is going so hard against them. You know, Thibault will be here for that game. Toronto has been good against the spread, Philly early on, but I don't know. I don't see them losing at home in this spot. And I definitely think they're going to get the cover. So I mean, I'm a little nervous about the Raptors. They are a well-balanced team, but yeah, all over Philly at -4.5. Munaf, it seems like you want to get fired again, but explain why you're on. Are you on Toronto +4.5 for game one?
Yeah, I am on Toronto here. Game one +4.5. I think it's gonna be a close game, Sean. I'll say that. I think the Sixers can pull it off in game one. Maybe they win by a possession or win by 4 possessions by 4 points here. The one thing that does make me nervous about the Philadelphia 76ers over the past, over the past 5 years, they've been in a total of 7 playoff series, which means either the first round or the conference semifinals. They've lost outright 5 of those 7 game ones for whatever reason. And I think that this is a game where Toronto kind of come in and give them a challenge. Again, we talked about this in the preview when we were talking about the series that Toronto has won 3 out of their 4 games against the Philadelphia 76ers. And now you get Fred VanVleet back, who wasn't there for the final 3 games as well in the regular season. So I think this is an opportunity for the Raptors to come here and steal one. I think Philly will make the adjustments in the second game. And I think that we might go back to Toronto with this series at 1-1. So I think the Toronto Raptors can come in here at least for game 1 and get the victory. So I'm taking at least plus 4.5 in this game.
Well, I like the idea of Philly losing in the series. I also like the idea of them winning in game 1 and taking care of business in a serious way, so we can get an even better price on the Raptors.
Have you bet the Sixers series? And to be clear, one of my favorite bets is Philly minus 1.5. You can get series game price at like plus 100. Have you bet the series yet, Kramer?
No, you missed what I said. I'm going to bet them.
No, that's what I'm saying. I heard you, but are you actually holding off on betting the series?
Toronto, I've not bet the series. I'm going to wait until they lose game 1. I think Philly, maybe they lose the first 2. I doubtful, but I think Philly takes care of business easily in game 1. I think Sean's going to be NBA Sean is going to be insanely annoying after game 1. He's going to be talking shit to you, Munaf. He's going to be pointing at a 16-point victory. And then the slide to failure happens. But at game 1, Philly gets theirs. I mean, I think to your point, right? Like the building's going to be lit. Colby's not here, but and say what you will about Doc Rivers, even bad coaches. Justin Fuentes showed us this in football. Even bad coaches can show up and start out good. So when the adjustments start to happen deep into the series, I have zero faith. Philly wins game 1, big blowout. I'd play. In fact, I was trying to get to
looking at some alt lines.
Well, I was trying to get to it, and then something happened, and the internet attacked us. But alternate spreads for this game. I certainly would explore the idea of Philly. Let's see. Can we get to what's too much of a move? It's a 4.5. All right, let's do this. Let's go Philly minus 8 plus 160.
Wow. Plus Philly minus 8 plus 160. All right.
There you go.
Yeah. So that's essentially like a reverse on the tees, right?
Yeah. Something like that. I mean, I had some success with this earlier in the season. I think it's time to bring it back out. But I will say this: we're gonna be monitoring the situation, because when the Toronto line moves from plus 170 to plus like 290 after they lost the game they were supposed to lose, we're gonna suck up all that extra value the books are leaking onto the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a bunch of fun. If you want to look at WinBet, they have a full slate of player props, alternate spreads. Oh, no. Build your own bet is firing on all cylinders for the playoff. Points and assists for Tyrese Maxey game 1. You can get those combined. 25 plus is at plus 170. I think that's a fun plus odd. And I think he, again, one of the reasons why I like the Sixers so much in the series is Tyrese Maxey kind of emerging and having a nice series and helping carry the load offensively for the Sixers as they take down the hated Toronto Raptors. Denver Nuggets game 1 against the Golden State Warriors. Warriors laying 6.5 minus 250. Nuggets coming back plus 200 on the money line. Total sitting at 223.5. We already gave out our series picks for this. I was on, let's see, what did I have?
We were all on the Golden State.
Yeah, we were all on Golden State. Kramer and I liked taking them in 5 or 6 because you could get plus 400.
We were spreading Munaf around.
Yeah, Munaf was on the similar board there as well.
Yeah,
at minus 210. I'm probably not betting that strictly as a series price at minus 210. Like, I don't know. And laying crazy juice on a series price isn't that interesting to me. Game 1 though, 6.5. This one was kind of tough because Steph is probable.
He's playing.
Yeah. Okay. He is playing. I was going to say, I would assume he's playing if this spreads all the way up to 6.5. Kramer, you like Clay's over 3-point shots. This is a crazy stat. Steph, Clay, and Draymond have only been on the floor together for 11 minutes total this season because of all the injuries. So you could look at it kind of two different ways. One, do they all come back together on the court at the same time? Hey, we got our mojo back. We're at home, playoff time. Let's switch it on. or is it going to take, a little bit to get their rhythm and maybe Nuggets hang around in game one? Denver has been very good on the road. Last 11, 10-1 straight up. I keep going back and forth on this. Munaf, what's your angle in game one?
Yeah, just like you, Sean, I'm kind of going back and forth because if you kind of take a look at the season series, even though Golden State did win 3 out of the 4, they only won one of those games by 7 exactly. And the spread right now is at -6.5. The other 2 games they won were by 3 points and then by a point. And then the last game, the Denver Nuggets won that game by 11 points. So I'm also going back and forth on this game. And this is a time where I kind of like looking at historical numbers as far as what teams have done in game ones. And, we know Golden State has made it to so many NBA finals from the 2014 to 15 season all the way to 2019 season. So they've been in 20 series since then, and they've won 18 of the 20 game ones in that span when they were making those championship NBA finals appearances. So I'm going to lean slightly here with the Denver Nuggets. I think that you're right, Sean, about the integration with Steph coming back and Clay not having time together on the floor with Draymond. It might take a little bit, but I think they can pull out the victory here. But I just feel like, again, this might be a close game. I'll lean with the Denver Nuggets here at +6.5. But I think that money line, maybe it's like a parlay piece. If you are a parlay player, maybe you want to parlay with another, money line for this weekend.
Yeah, I'm with you. Let's 6.5. I could see that. I could see Jokic getting some points late. The guy likes to pad his stats with garbage. So I'm with you. Get the 6.5. Kramer, what are you doing here?
They're going to roll. Come on. This is the Philly angle. This is the building's going to be lit. This is the, I don't think there will be difficulties integrating these guys back together. And in the case where there isn't, there's many scenarios where they roll, they win big. I think they also understand that they're going to have some tough road trips out to Denver, and they want to make sure they take care of business here in a game one. So again, veteran squad, they'll know what to do, step up, lay the points, and no need to take the money line like these gentlemen over here suggesting you should be dumping your 401ks over here. We're just going to.
I'm going to switch it to -6.5. I agree with everything what Kramer just said there, because this is the first playoff game for this team in 2 years because they've battled injuries. And the times we saw Golden State in the playoffs, that home court advantage and those fans, they get rowdy. So for them to have a 2-year absence of the playoffs, I'll roll with you. Give me the -6.5. I'll change my mind live here on air.
There you go. I am a salesman part-time. Yeah, no, I just think like if I was going to put 2 teams in a parlay, I would, as crazy as this sounds, give me the Warriors, give me the Sixers, laying the points. Okay. That's my 2-teamer mega whale play.
Ryan, are you a driveway? You just love eating all this chalk, man. You turned into a chalk machine.
20 contrarian chalk here. I guess Golden State's not contrarian, but the Sixers is a little bit.
You're right. The Sixers are contrarian chalk. All right. Before we get to the Sunday games, of course, StableDuel.com, DFS, horse racing simplified. The sweat is real over at StableDuel.com. So fun to put together your stable. Again, stay tuned. We got a ton of horse racing content coming up for you. StableDuel makes it so easy to select your horses, to give a ton of stats. And again, it's just a DFS style app. They got free games, get you used to the format, watching the races there. Fire up the old TVG screen, watch the horses go. Again, super exciting. Great way to add some action on a Saturday, sitting around. Build your stable, play against others, climb up the leaderboard, see how many winners you can pick in your stable at StableDuel.com. I'll see you in the winner's circle. Play, race, win. And of course, NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, PropSwap.com. That's where America goes to buy and sell real sports bets. You can filter the listed tickets based on the best value. You can see the red hot tickets, stuff that's really popping up. Again, perfect way to buy or sell some hedge opportunities. Many prop swappers are making thousands of dollars just buying and selling futures. If you know the market, and again, you're listening to the show, you're probably a fellow sharp, love some EV opportunity. Go to PropSwap.com, promo code SGP. They'll match your deposit up to $500. PropSwap.com, promo code SGP. Moving over to the Sunday games. Brooklyn Nets catching 4 against the Boston Celtics. Nets plus 155, Celtics minus 175. 224 is the total. Again, I think Kyrie comes in with a bit of a chip on his shoulder here. There's no word yet officially as to whether Ben Simmons is going to play. It sounds like they're trying to get him ready for game 5 or game 6. Celtics obviously have a really good defense. They do have some injuries that have hurt them coming into it, though. They do have the number 1 defense in the league, best defensive rating, number 1 in defensive 3-point percentage, one of the hottest teams in the East. Tatum has had over 30 points in 62 games this season. That explains why they're so dominant. ATS 43, 37 and 2. Nets are horrible ATS. We saw that in the playing game where they get up big and again kind of fell apart. But this is, to me, a little different. This is, the Nets. They have Kyrie. They have a very motivated Kyrie and Kevin Durant. And they're bad at home against the spread, but they're good on the road against the spread. 9-2-1 against the spread in their last 12 road games. I know Boston's going to be excited, but I like, you're giving this Brooklyn team 4 points. I'm going to take it. Am I crazy, Munaf?
Yeah, you're crazy. This number seems a little short to me. I mean, -4.
That's because they want you to take the Celtics. Come on, classic.
Yeah, I mean, if you kind of go back to last year's playoffs, this Brooklyn Nets team was 0-5 on the road last year. I understand that they didn't have Kyrie and James Harden against the Milwaukee Bucks last season, but I think that this year, this team, this Boston team, like you mentioned, is one of the better defensive teams, especially in the second half of the season. They figured some things out. They got their guys healthy. I think this is going to be a game where they come out and get ready to play. In game 1 on their home floor in Boston, that crowd is going to be rowdy. I think that, they'll get game 1 here. They'll cover the 4 points here. And Sean, going back to the Ben Simmons thing, from what I read from Shumps this morning was that they should have him back around game 3 or game 4 of this series. So get your Ben Simmons jersey out.
Oh my goodness. Why are they bringing him back? Yeah, I think you do. I think the 2 games we're going to be talking about on Sunday are just insanely lopsided, and this one makes less sense. I like Kyrie to do some damage scoring, but I think when it comes down to it, Celtics clamp down in the 4th quarter, and to Munaf's point, yeah, number might be a little short, right?
Yeah, it feels like it.
Again, contrarian play. We're seeing, I think, close to 70% of the spread bets on the Nets.
Ball casual, like the Nets.
I was gonna say
we didn't get to pick the series yet. Right now, and there were kind of crazy line movements where the Nets started out as favorites, and now they're the dog. Right now, over at WinBet, Brooklyn Nets are plus 120, Celtics minus 140. Bunch of different options to play this. As far as Nets, the series spread is Nets minus 1.5 plus 190, Celtics plus 1.5 minus 250. I just can't see Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving getting knocked out in the first round by this Boston team. I'm going to take Brooklyn plus 120 on the series price. I do think, if you're looking for like a safer bet, I do think total series games played, if you take plus 200 for 6 games, plus 190 for 7 games, that's a fun way to kind of hedge and just essentially take the over in the series. A little safer probably, but where are you at with the series, Munaf?
Yeah, I mean, I've gone back and forth on this. I don't know how many times in my head over the course of since the series price came out. And the thing that makes me nervous is what we just talked about is if they're getting Ben Simmons back and that type of caliber player, what is this team going to look like with him on the floor, right? Like, what is his role going to be? What does Steve Nash and that coaching staff have planned for him? And what is he going to do? Because offensively, we know he's not a great player. He doesn't have that jump shot. He can finish around the basket, but he was a little timid last year. Defensively, one of the better defenders, and if not one of the top 5 defenders, top 3 defenders in the league. So if he's able to come in and just come out and play some defense, facilitate the ball, and let Kyrie and KD do their thing on offense, I think they have a chance to win this series. Do I think they're going to win? I'm not so sure. I'm going to take Boston here reluctantly. I do think that I love your angle of that getting to game 6 and game 7 of this series. I think that's the way I would attack this series. But honestly, for me, it's such a coin flip. And we saw how that market kind of moved when the series prices opened, that, Brooklyn was favored, I think minus 145. And we're currently seeing a number of a minus 130 on the Boston Celtics. So we're seeing money both ways. For me, I'm going to take the cop out, and I'm going to take this series gets a 6 or 7, but I would lean with Boston winning it.
I mean, hopefully you got Boston at the opener, and now it's moved. And I think this is another series where if the Nets lose game 1, the price is going to double, or at least it's going to go north 2-1. And that's what they're supposed to do. Like, this is the one thing about NBA playoff betting I never understood. A team is a dog in game 1, they lose that game, their series price skyrockets. And this just feels like a game or a series where I think you're right. It probably does go long. And so if I'm having to make a pick, I'll take the Celtics, but I would imagine, we'll be talking about buying the Nets back after they lose game 1 at a pretty nice price.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. Interest, couple different ways you could play that, but I wouldn't be, I think they're a live dog game 1. And I do think they're a live dog game 1. So that's one thing to be concerned about. Cause if they win game 1, you're not going to get that plus 120 again. It's going to be back to like minus 150 or something like that on the series price.
It's really a coin flip. I mean, you can make a case for it both ways, and I see why people are struggling with it. Like people that follow NBA, it's really going to be on the whole Ben Simmons thing, because it's weird that type of caliber players come back in the middle of the playoffs for them. It's really crazy.
I can't imagine. And again, I'm on the Nets, but I almost hope they don't bring him back, because I don't know, man. Like, I just see them imploring like a Haka Ben. If as soon as he checks in, you're immediately fouling him, right?
Yeah.
Dude, hit a free throw. You mentally like collapsed. And can you imagine game 6 or game 7 where they potentially targeting a Simmons return? He's playing real minutes in the fourth quarter, and then they're immediately just hacking and putting the line. That Boston crowd is going to devour that poor man. So I can't imagine a world where he actually put him in. It's crazy to put a guy back this late in the season too, especially when what he's been out for is just like mental fragility and, some nefarious back injury, which is we don't know what the back injury was.
Yeah.
It's unclear. It's like, dude, something weird's going on. I read those same reports. I'm still pretty skeptical he sees the court, but if he does, it's certainly going to help guarding Tatum. So I don't know. A lot of subplots in this one for sure.
It's going to be a close to a year since he had played actual, NBA basketball. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, guys.
And even like literally the last time he played, he mentally collapsed, got scared to take a layup, and then was so scared he never reported to the team and basically did whatever he could to get kicked off the team. Like, I just don't see how you come back from that. Especially this year.
Paying homage to his LSU brother and Shaq by playing his way into shape in the playoffs.
Oh, come on. You don't put Shaq in the same breath.
Oh, I'm just joking because Shaq called him out earlier this year.
Yeah.
Shaq loved working. Say what you will about Shaq. That guy has not turned down a job in like 12 years.
We did see him DJ. So
probably he's probably doing Uber part-time in the off season. Like, the guy loves to work.
I mean, Shaq's win bet Super Bowl party, I had zero expectation that Shaq was going to DJ for an hour. Like, I don't think Shaq had to DJ for an hour.
No, but he did.
Big Diesel. Sorry, apologies. DJ Diesel.
Shaq loves. The guy's a worker, man. All right, last game of the weekend slate, or that we have spreads for currently, because there'll probably be a couple extra the playing games. Yeah, that's why you tune into the NBA Gambling Podcast or NBA Picks page, the app. Get the latest on those. Bulls catching 10 points in Milwaukee. Man, I mentioned it when I said DeRozan on the over there. Bucks are very bad at game ones. Last year they were 1-3 straight up in game ones. They were, they won the NBA championship. The one win was that OT game against Miami, which Miami really blew that game. And I forget if it was Munaf or Terrell when we were talking about this series and why we thought Chicago plus 2.5 games was kind of interesting. They're going to make this a series at least. They're coming in here with nothing to lose, chip on their shoulder. They got embarrassed in the season series, losing all 4 games. And the Bucks, it's like game one after, first playoff game, you already won the playoffs. I think Chicago could really sneak up on them. I like them here. Chicago plus 10. Munaf, what's your and we had already given out the series price.
Yeah.
I'm on Chicago plus 2.5 for the games on the series spread there. I would be shocked if they pull it outright. But what's your take?
Yeah, I feel like this is a lot of points here at 10. I mean, I understand like the Bucks have dominated the Chicago Bulls. I don't know. I think I said they won like 18 of the last 19 games against them, but I think that, we talk about game ones and sometimes they're sneaky dogs. I think there's an opportunity for the Chicago Bulls to kind of keep it close here. And you talked about it, Sean, how the Milwaukee Bucks have struggled in game ones in the playoffs, dating back to last year. And I think this is an opportunity for, hey, DeMar DeRozan to come out, Zach LaVine to come out. Let's just go out and play basketball and see what happens, right? You're playing against the defending champions. I think the pressure is more obviously on the Milwaukee Bucks because they are the defending champs. And I think you'll get contributions from other guys, at least in game one for the Chicago Bulls. And, maybe you catch them off guard here a little bit. Maybe they come out a little rusty due to the Milwaukee Bucks. I think Chicago can keep this within the number. I don't think they'll get the outright victory, but I can probably see a 5-6 point victory here for the Bucks in game one. So I'll go with Chicago plus the 10 here.
Come on, obviously. And not to mention this number is probably going to keep going up. The betting skew is pretty heavy in Milwaukee's favor. So, I mean, again, contrarian play. Why not take all the points? Because as you mentioned, like the Bucks, they've accomplished some stuff. So the first round is not like, I could see them sleeping for a half, maybe having to work hard to get a win. 10 points is a big old number.
It really is. I mean, and I think they've struggled this season at home as well against the spread. I don't have those numbers in front of me here, but we talked about the Milwaukee Bucks versus their home and road splits, and I believe that they did struggle at home this season. So let's see if Chicago can keep this competitive at least in game one.
78% of the tickets on the Bucks.
There we go.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. I was just doing some math here on a potential. You know what? I'm going to do it. We'll see. I'm running a sample on a potential system here. I had some nice runs here with the round robin Moneyline dog parlays. Now that is college basketball, so a little different here, but I like a Chicago, Brooklyn, Dallas Mavs there. Moneyline round robin parlay. So again, you just need to hit 2 of those 3 and you're going to be paying out pretty nice. And then if you hit all 3, you're going to be really cooking. So Moneyline round robin parlay with the dogs barking, Bulls, Brooklyn, and Dallas on the money line as a parlay. Oh, there you go. Oh, Ryan, that's not a small dog. That is a big dog.
I couldn't find the big dog. Sorry.
It's all right. Yeah, that's what happens when Ryan fills in on the soundboard there. All right. I'll kick things off. We'll do 2 locks and a dog. Or and feel what's up?
That works.
Feel free to throw in a series price there instead. But for dog, the dog I like the most, I'm gonna go Dallas Mavs money line. I think they are definitely live there. For my 2 locks, give me Chicago plus 10, and you got to ride some homer action. Philly minus 4.5. Kramer, what do you got? 2 locks and a dog.
All right, for my locks, Golden State. I think they Golden State and Philly. I'll steal one of your locks, Sean.
Ooh, okay.
I think both those games. I think they come out and take care of business. And then the dog, Dallas, as I mentioned, I like this playing it this way versus grabbing the series price. And then only one dog. We're not doing 2 dog. Nothing else.
Well, I gave out my money line dog round
Memphis
robin,
and 7 plus 3. Whatever I said, plus 340. I think it is.
Okay, that's a fun little bonus play. We'll call this the bonus section. It's got to get some bonuses. Munaf, what do you got?
I quickly want to throw this out there. I know we haven't talked about totals, but at least for game ones, it's kind of similar to, we talked about the unders for round ones. But since 2015, when there's been a total higher of 217 or higher, the under is actually 44, 14, and 2 at 76%. So if you are in unders better or totals better, you probably want to take a look and see unders with some of these high totals that are on the board.
So we're talking Memphis, Minnesota. We're talking Denver, Golden State, Toronto, Phillies right on that fringe. Brooklyn, Boston, and Chicago, Milwaukee both over it. Yeah. Basically all the games. All right. Sounds like a system. Let's go.
All right. For my picks, for my lock, I agree with Kramer. Let's go with the Warriors -6.5 against the Denver Nuggets in game one. For my dog, I agree with the Dallas play. I love it. Utah historically struggled in game ones against opponents over the last, 13 years. Yeah. They've lost 10 out of the last 13, game one straight up. So let's go with Dallas plus 165. And as a bonus, I think that Brooklyn Nets and that Celtics series gets to 7 games. So let's go plus 190 for that series to get to 7 games between those two squads. I think it's down to plus 175 now. So I think we're in the right direction.
Wait, Munaf, did you not give out a second lock?
Oh, you want another
lock?
Are
you just spitting in the face of Sean? This is, I like
sorry.
Fully
for my second lock.
You're really fired, Munaf.
Let's go. Let's go with the under in the Chicago Bulls and Milwaukee Bucks game at 220.5.
Ooh, totals, man.
Yeah, there we go.
I love that.
I love
play,
totals. Yeah.
I love that play.
Yeah.
I'm not a totals guy. Full disclosure, not a totals guy, but I love that.
Hashtag not totals guy, but as well. But I'm with you. That is fun, and I like your unders system as well here. All right, so still time to get in sportsgamblingpodcast.com/NBA playoffs for your chance to win $500 in our NBA playoff bracket challenge. Download the app. The link is there as well. USFL fantasy. We're kicking off with altfantasysports.com. Sign up there with your league. Make sure you hit the DGen style settings. And whoever's league comes away with the most USFL fantasy points wins $1,000. So again, we're getting you paid left and right. Appreciate all the ratings and reviews for the Sports Gambling Podcast, the app. Make sure you follow Munaf on Twitter at SportsNerd824, and check out the NBA Gambling Podcast as well. Guys have been killing it. MLB Gambling Podcast as well. For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green, and he is Ryan.
I'm going to play this now, Sean.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
That's good enough. End the show.
Kramer, let it ride.